everybody, it's Pat Gillis here. This is Gus. And tonight I just want to talk a little bit about some of the conversations I've had with some of my adult beginners when they first start riding lessons. So, they'll often say, okay, I get the concept that I have to know what the horse is trying to tell me. And I also get the concept that I have to understand his language in order to do that. But here's the thing, I can't help but notice that they're really big. And so how will I manage to stay safe while I'm in the learning process? And that's a question I've been thinking about for about 40 years, and it does have some answers. So I'm not going to say that you can never get hurt working around horses, because that would be a stupid thing to say. But what I want you to compare it to is imagine that you wanted to cross over a busy street, like a busy road, maybe a 4-lane road. And you really, really want to get to the other side, so you just sort of step out onto the road and you start walking towards the other side of the road. The chances of you getting squished are pretty good at that point, right? Because you've not taken any precautions at all. But think of it a different way. If you were to kind of look down the road and say, oh yeah, there's a traffic light down there. I'm going to go down to the traffic light, I'm going to wait till it turns green, and then I'm going to look both ways, make sure everything's okay, and then I'm going to cross over the street. The chances of you getting to the other side undamaged are pretty good at that point, right? I like to think it's the same thing when we work with horses. You really want to have systems in place that keep you safe. At my farm we call it the safety bubble, and you can expand or contract that bubble as big as you want it to be. For example, if I'm working with a young horse that I think might get away on me, I'm going to expand my safety bubble right out to the gates that are on the field that I'm working in, or the barn, or even out to the driveway, the gates in the driveway. Whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to expand the safety bubble out there. If I'm working with a horse like Gus, I'm still going to maintain a safety bubble. Here's the thing, like a lot of times people, like Gus is a saint, like he would never take a bad step, he's just a lovely, kind, sweet horse. But if I maintain the same systems when I'm working with Gus as I would if I was working with a more challenging horse, I will never get hurt. The most dangerous thing that we can say when we work with horses is, oh, it's okay, it's only Gus, right? Never say that. Gus weighs 1,000 pounds, he's as sweet as could be, but I'm always going to keep my systems in place that keep me safe, and that for me is the safety bubble. I want to make sure he's got somewhere to go if something startled him, and that I'm not in his path. I'm going to make sure there's nothing around Gus that could actually get him hurt. All these things. We have a whole list of things that we go through for the safety bubble because we don't ever want to take unnecessary risks from our horses. I would almost argue, to be honest with you, that there are very, 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 very few accidents with horses. There are definitely problems, but I call those events that could have been prevented. So you'll hear of people saying things where they've had a situation with a horse where they got hurt. But chances are, if you back all the way up, you can see that they just didn't have a system in place to look after that situation. Again, I'm not telling beginners that they should work with really challenging horses. You should all, if you're a beginner, work with horses like Gus. But the key is to get those habits in place so strictly in your mind that by the time you are ready to deal with horses a little bit more challenging than Gus here, you're going to be ready. Okay, so that's it for this week. Thanks very much. I'm told I'm supposed to say subscribe to the YouTube channel, so if you get a chance, hit the subscribe button. That would be awesome. And we will see you next week. Thanks. Remember to thank your horse. Good night. Good night, Gus.